Welcome to my BARLATES Body Blitz back of leg mat workout. For today's workout, all you will need is an exercise mat. Okay, let's get started. I want you to sit with a side bend leg position and then just split your legs. So one leg is lining up with the front of your mat and the other one's just behind. It doesn't need to be a really big Z position at the moment because we're just going to warm up. Put one hand in between your legs and lean to the side slightly. We're going to pick up this back leg and swing it to the front and back around. So you can move your hand out the way as you start to swing. We're just bringing it gently to the front and to the back. Doesn't really matter what you do with that hand as long as it gets out of the way. It's just kind of helping you balance a little bit. Try not to lean too heavily on your supporting arm. Swing to the front, leaning forward slightly from the waist and hinge to the back. So you're hinging forward with a straight, flat back and you're swinging that leg behind. You don't touch your leg down to the ground at all. It's hovering above the ground, just warming up those hips and glutes. Just go for 3 and all the way forward, 2 and forward and 1 to the front. Now bring it back and we're going to lift for 2, swing to the front, raise for 2. Back, lift for 2, swing all the way to the front, raise for 2. Okay, so you're just really trying to warm up into those hips. Doesn't really matter too much which angle your leg is in, because what's happening is you're using your glutes and your outer thighs to raise up that leg. Back for 2, to the front and lift for 2. Just 2 more sets like that. To the front and lift. Back for 2, to the front and lift. Now we're just going to sweep over and over like a mermaid, keeping your legs in that nice Z position and just stretching through the side body, stretching down, warming up the waistline. Even though this is a leg focused workout, you will still be using your waist quite a bit with a lot of these exercises and even your upper body just to help stabilize you. 3, 2 and 1. Now we're just going to swing our legs around so you're on the other side. So once again, line up your legs in a loose Z position. Just lean over slightly and then swing your leg to the front and then back around. So you're just leaning into it with your body, all the way to the front and back, all the way up and back. So you can either leave it on a horizontal plane, your leg, or you can even bring the knee up a little bit like this on the front. Doesn't really matter too much. We're just loosening up through those hips, back and forward. Leaning in. Really keep your tummy tight with all these exercises. Help protect your back. And leaning forward with a flat back. Back and front. Keep that leg quite high. That way you're engaging your glutes and your hips. All the way back, stretching behind you. It's almost like a circular motion. 3 and 2 and 1. Now come to the back, lift twice, back to the front, raise twice. To the back and lift, to the front and raise. Back and lift, front and raise. Nice big bend over. Make sure your back and your neck are in nice alignment when you bend, so you're not craning your neck to look at me. Trying to work safely throughout this whole workout. Keep your alignment and posture perfect. Back. 3 more sets and front. Back for 2, front, and last set and front. Now sitting back into that side Z position and just swinging over side to side, really starting to stretch deep into the waistline, warming everything up. Even just that short segment there would have really started to heat up the outer thighs and the glutes and your hips as well, so I'm sure you felt it a little bit. Just 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now going back to the other side, I want you to get into a side position where you come up with one knee, lean into it. You can either do fingertips or come down with a flat hand, whichever you prefer. Stretch your leg out so that this leg is in line with your hip, and this one is really just comfortably underneath your body. Okay, so at the back, if you want to flex your toes up to help support you, and then just start raising that leg up and down. So you're keeping the leg in line with your hip, and you're making sure that you're leading with that outer thigh. Don't start to turn your knee up to the ceiling. This is really an outer thigh focus. Up and down. Just lightly tapping to the ground so that you're not plonking your leg down and losing all that intensity in the glutes and outer thighs. Up as far as you can, and then lightly tapping down. Should be feeling that heat building now. Doesn't take long with these smaller muscle groups. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold your leg up, and we're going to do a bicycle. So it's forward, extend, and back. Forward, extend, and back. You're trying not to move your body too much here. Extending forward and back. It's like you're riding your bike with one leg. Trying to keep it up. This should be quite hard, and you should actually be feeling this in your core as well, especially on the underside. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now holding that leg up and drawing little circles. Tiny little circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse it. Hold that leg up. Just drawing tiny circles with your toe on that opposite wall. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in for a second. Release through those hips. We haven't finished with this side yet. Come back down into that same position. Now what we're doing is up and front, up and back. So you're tapping down to the front of your mat and to the back. Up, front, up, back. So front and back. It's like an arc or even like a pyramid shape. You're really trying to lift that leg, but don't be tempted to turn your knee up to the ceiling. Keep everything to the front and back. If your leg gets really heavy, you can make the arc smaller, so just stay down here. But if you can, a few more high ones. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Now, just a tiny little rest, catch your breath. Up again, flex your foot this time, and it's going to be back, kick forward twice. All the way back, kick forward twice. Sweeping back, kick forward. You're on the same horizontal plane. You're not bringing your leg up or down. It's back on that horizontal plane and forward. So don't drop that leg. Back and kick. Back and kick. 3 more and kick. 2 more and kick. Last one, kick forward. Awesome job, coming back up. Last little bit on this side, and then we're going to move to the other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into position. Leg bent this time, and we're just going to go down and up with our leg bent. So having a bent leg makes this movement slightly easier. I'm sure you can tell. Down and up, keeping it nice and straight. Your foot, knee, and hip are all in line at the top. So don't let your knee drop or your foot drop. Move it in one fluid motion. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now circle to the back. So you're picking your whole leg up and circling to the back. Back, back. All the way around. Big circle. Picking up that whole leg in one go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it up. Last exercise, poke to the back. You're starting in line with your hip, and you're pushing your toe as if you're trying to touch the back wall. Poke. Just really poking strong. Getting into that glute and just the back of the leg where the hamstring joins your butt. Trying to get into that problem area. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Now both sides need a bit of a stretch, so just sit into it, stretching through that hip of the supporting leg and then the hip of the leg we just worked. That feels good. And now we're moving on to the other side. So once again, set yourself up, make sure you have enough room, leaning over to the side and stretching out that leg. So once again, making sure your knee is facing the front and your leg is in line with your hip. Then start raising up and down. Nice big sweeping motion, leading with your outer thigh. Up and down, long legs. Point your toes. Think about lengthening away as well as raising up. So you're constantly trying to get those nice long lines. Up and down. Big sweeping motion. Breathing through it. Because it's quite a fast pace, you will feel your heart rate raising up as well, which means we're burning some extra calories, which is awesome. Okay, up and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do that bicycle motion as if you're riding your bike with that one leg. If you want to tuck your toes under on the supporting leg, it might help. So it's forward and back. Really hold your tummy in strongly. That's going to help you keep your balance, and try not to swing your upper body too much. I know it's hard because you're like doing this cycling motion and your whole body wants to get involved, but try to use your core strength to stabilize your upper body. Forward and back, forward and back, all the way for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Coming up for a second, just bending into those hips, loosening for a second, coming back down, leg outstretched, and we're going to do those arcs. So it's forward, up, back, up, front of mat, back of mat, all the way down and up, making sure you're not resting your foot at the bottom, but you're just tapping lightly and coming back up. Your supporting leg should really be feeling this. Mine's screaming. My butt cheek on my supporting leg is tight and tensed to help keep me stable, and it's on fire. Down and up, all the way, big arc. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up for a stretch. This side feels it much quicker because we used it as a supporting side before, so you might need a few extra stretches. Coming back down. Now your leg is up, flex your foot, kick forward twice and back. Kick, kick and sweep. Kick forward and sweep. Make sure that your back is nice and flat, your tummy is pulled in. Check your alignment, check that you're not hunching your shoulders here. Keep your upper body quite relaxed. Forward kick and back. Forward kick, extend back. Squeeze into your glutes on the back. Kick, kick, sweep. Kick, kick, sweep. Just a few more. You can do this for 4 more sets. And back. 3 and back. 2 and back. Last one and back. Coming up for a second, sitting into those hips. If you don't need these breaks, then just keep doing more reps of the previous exercise. Coming back down, now keeping that leg bent and little ups with a bent leg. Up and down, up and down. Really nice sweeping motion, remembering to lead with that outer thigh. Up and down, all the way up, squeezing at the top. Really breathing into it, keeping your back in alignment, your neck in alignment, no tension through those shoulders, up and down. Try and make it look as graceful and effortless as you can, even though it's probably burning like crazy and you're saying, okay, how many more reps? Just 8 more. 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Now forward, circle forward, circling the entire leg. If you prefer, you can look down at your hand. If you're finding your neck is straining a bit, you can look down at the ground instead of looking at me. That might help. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Relax for a second. Now back, circling back. Not many of these. All the way around to the back. Really stretching out through those hips. Thinking about all the fat that we want to get rid of in that problem area, in the upper hip muffin top area. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down for 1 second, last exercise in this set. Okay, setting it back up. Keep your leg up and poke to the back. So it's trying to push your toe towards that back wall. Press. Press behind you. Keep your leg high so that it's leading with your outer thigh to the ceiling and you're just pressing back on a horizontal plane. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Just sitting down into it, stretching out through those hips. Oh, that feels great. And then on the other side. Awesome job. You did really well. Now we're moving on to some targeted back of leg and glute work. So I'm going to get you to lie down on your tummy. Lie all the way down so that you're lying flat on the floor. Then bring your arms in front of you. Now, once you see the exercise, I actually want you to look at the ground so your neck is in nice alignment with the spine. But what we're doing is, we're going to start rolling back, stretching out our leg long, and rolling forward. So, you're using that hand to help you to roll back and stretch your leg long. So it's back and up and down. Supporting yourself with that hand, stretching out really long through that toe and squeezing your glutes and thighs and every part of that leg really, really strongly. Down and back, holding it for a few seconds at the top and really squeezing and coming back down. Try to hold your tummy in and use your hips and your abs to help you roll up as well, not just that hand. Up and back. Just 2 more like this, and then we're going to stay up. 1, down, and 2. Now stay up in this position. If you want to move your hand closer, you can. Keep that leg outstretched. I want you to make sure your shoulders are slightly turned forward. So you're on an angle, you're not all the way up like this. Make sure your weight is still in that front hand. Now start raising that leg. Little mini ups. The leg is pointed and you're coming off that bottom leg. So you can see my leg is raised up to begin with anyway, and then it's a little bit higher, pulsing higher. Now this position will engage not only the outer thigh, but also your hips and that muffin top area, as well as your glutes. So just changing up the angle of these raises will really target different muscle groups. And it's really efficient to work many muscle groups in one go. You should be able to feel that burn now. Oh, I can feel it. If your feet ever cramp, just flex your foot for a bit and then come back into point. 8, 7, 6, 5, just 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold it up. We're going to point our foot and tap to the front and back. Make sure you don't come up too much. If you ever feel yourself coming up too much with your chest, actually make sure that you've got some weight in that arm, so that if you were to take that arm away, you would fall. Okay, there needs to be supportive weight in the arm so that you're in the correct angle. Front and back. That leg should be starting to burn big time. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Keep it up. Bend it in to meet that arm and back. In and back. So it's a bit of a relief for that glute on the front down movement. But then on the back, I want you to raise it higher and squeeze through that glute. You're actually pausing for a second at the top there and squeeze. Down and squeeze, down and squeeze. Make sure you're still leaning forward, hovering over that arm. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now coming in, bending that leg in half, tap your knee, tap your toe. Tap, 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 tap. Leaning forward, keep your tummy pulled in here. You really need to protect your core. Squeezing tightly. This is a bit of an arm workout as well. If you haven't been able to tell already, my arm is burning, this supporting arm. If you need to change position at any time, you can. Tap, 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 tap. Squeezing through that outer thigh and hip. That supporting leg down the bottom is also tensed. So don't let it just limply sit there. Point the toe, tense those muscles so that you're getting maximum results. Down, down for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now hold it in that horizontal plane and to the back. So we did this in the other position where we were kneeling. Now we're just pushing to the back. Keep it, start it off in line with your hip and then push back. Sorry, I just found myself creeping back a bit too much. Coming back forward into that down position and back, pushing, pushing. If you want to look down at your mat, it's more likely that you'll keep the right alignment. If you look at me, you're going to open up too much like this and then you'll lose the intensity in your hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your leg back and little ups. This is like an attitude raise. Keeping it bent, keeping it in line with your hip. Don't let the leg creep forward and little ups. This should be burning. I can feel this bad. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring it to the front, resting it on the ground for a second. Last little bit, adjust yourself if you need to, leaning back forward. Raise that leg, and we're going to bring it forward and touch down and up. Down and up. So the whole leg is lifting, down and up, in one fluid motion. Down and up. So remember to lean into it. Squeeze that bottom leg, down and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just hold it. Hold it. Squeeze it and hold it. Squeeze it and hold it. Doesn't feel like it's going to be doing much, but if you are squeezing, your leg should be shaking. Mine's shaking. I don't know if you can see it. Just squeeze and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Now coming down all the way, you can give your shoulders a little break by coming further down. This time I just want you to have a nice parallel position, but bring your back leg to the front of your mat so that it's like you're crossing your legs. So imagine that you're touching the front of your mat with that back toe and then you're lying back down flat. Now raise that leg up. So your hips should be parallel, but just by crossing your legs over like this, you're engaging your inner thighs a bit more and you're squeezing up. Once you see the exercise, look down at your mat and try to relax as much as you can through the upper body. If you want to put your head down on the mat, you can do that. Just raise up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend your leg and poke up to the ceiling. Poking up. Poking up. It's a tiny micro motion, but you should feel that, and you should also feel the bottom leg, the supporting leg in the inner thigh. Just by holding you in this position, it should be burning. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just bring one hand up like this, keep your leg bent, and we're going to tap to the front and to the back with that knee. This is really a bit of a break. It's just opening up through those hips, down and down, down and down. Going to move on to the other side after this. and then we're done. So this is your last little section, and this leg can have a tiny bit of a break, although it will still be supporting you. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Now we're moving to the other side, so just swing your legs around, and we're coming down into that front position where you're starting off with your hips and your shoulders parallel to the mat. Then you're bringing one hand up, make sure you've got everything aligned, and sweeping up, staring at that foot, and back down. Pushing off, long leg, and down. So you're pushing off that mat and coming back. Tensing everything up and back down. Really point through that toe and squeeze through your quads. Squeeze all the way down to your ankles, your foot, and back down. Hold your tummy in here. It will help you to roll up in one smooth line. And down. If you want to, you can look back to that foot, checking that your leg is in nice alignment with your hip at the top of the movement. And down for 4, and down for 3, and down 2, down. Last one. Now hold it up like this and start pulsing. Check your alignment. Your hand might want to come in slightly. You are putting all your weight on that arm so that if you were to move that arm, you would fall forward. Okay, so make sure that you're in nice alignment. Look down at your mat so your neck isn't strained. Keep that leg in line with your hip. Don't let it come out here, but keep it in line, hovering above that other leg. The bottom leg is supporting you as well, so make sure you tense through that leg, point the toe, keep it engaged the whole time. Nice ups. Squeezing through those glutes and outer thighs. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Now tap front and back. Front and back. Make sure that you're still looking down with your chest towards the ground. Kicking my ball. Front and back. Front and back. Try to pick it up a little bit higher. I know that leg seems like it weighs a ton, like it's made of lead, but it's mind over matter here. These are the last few exercises, and if you really want to shape your body, it's these last reps that really count. So just keep pushing through at your level. If you have to take a rest for a second, do so, then come back. 8, 7, 6, 5, just 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to bring the knee in and push back. Knee in, push back. We're coming in all the way to that other hand and then pushing back in line with that bottom leg. Push. You should feel the crunch through your oblique muffin top area in here on the in. In and push. In and push. Pushing away, really squeezing through it. Keep your chest pointing down. Look down at your mat, make sure you're not straining your neck. Tummy's in, and push away. Push away. For 8, 7, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now bring your leg in. We're going to tap, tap. Tapping your knee, tapping your toe. Just tapping, keeping your leg up the entire time, even though it's tempting to just let it drop as low as you can because it's so heavy to pick it up. Try to really create that arc. Tap, tap. All the way down. Pointing your toe, tapping lightly. Don't actually let your foot rest on the ground. down and down. Keep your chest down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold that leg up and poke it to the back. So squeezing through the glutes, keeping your leg at the same horizontal plane, starting at your hip and then pushing back. So don't swing your leg like this, but keep it really tight and straight and poke backwards from that hip line. Leaning forward, squeezing through everything in that upper leg. Really trying to burn out that hamstring, that glute, the back of the leg, targeting it. Often the front of our legs, our quads can take over because they're such large muscle groups, so we need to make sure we're evenly balanced by working the back as well. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then little attitude raises. So keeping it in that same back position, directly above that other leg, we are leading with our outer thigh. The whole shape of the leg is being lifted at the same time. So it should be in a straight line. Your foot, your knee, your hip are all lifting up. Fast pace, burning out. Any fat that wants to try and live in this environment is not going to last long. We are torching that fat at the moment. Squeeze it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now swing your leg a bit further to the front and little lifts. This is putting a lot of tension into your front arm as well. So make use of that and really squeeze through that arm so that you're getting a great upper body workout at the same time. Down and up, lifting the whole leg at the same time. Still facing down with your chest, don't open up and rotate forward. Sorry, backwards. Down and up. Second to last exercise. You can do this. You're doing really, really well. This isn't easy. And because we're keeping the pace up and we're using all these awkward angles, you're probably going to find it challenging because you're thinking about your form at the same time as really burning. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Just hold it there and squeeze. Think about squeezing your foot, your calf, your quads, your glutes, your hips. Hold it up. Keep it high. Keep it in close to the arm. Don't let it drift back. That way you're engaging that muffin top area. Squeeze it. My leg is just shaking. Even my bottom leg is shaking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Now remember that back leg, the toe is to the front of the mat and you're coming down. You can relax down. If you want to put your head on your hands, you can. So you're crossing your leg behind so your hips are parallel and you're starting those raises. Squeezing your glutes up. Try to look straight ahead. Don't crane your neck to look at me. If you want to, put your chin on your hands or your head on your hands, your forehead, and squeeze up. This is a glute focus now, as well as the inner thigh, especially on the bottom supporting leg. You'll feel that inner thigh. Squeeze that leg. Keep that front leg high. Don't let it plonk down all the way to the mat. Because you've got your leg crossing over like this, it means that you can't actually come all the way down to the mat. You have to hold that leg up higher, which intensifies the burn in your glutes. So that's a trick for you. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee and little ups. Oh, this leg is burning badly. Really burning. Keep your leg up. Breathe through it. Don't let that bottom leg go slack. Keep the tension in that leg. Squeeze up. Not many more. We're nearly done. This is the second to last exercise of the whole workout. You can do this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just some of those knee and toe, opening through the hip, rotating down and back with a bent leg this time, tapping down, down and down, down and down. That actually feels really good. Doesn't really feel like work compared to some of those other exercises. Down and tap, down and tap. Not many more. Use that arm to support you and help you roll. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Great job. You've completed it. Back of leg mat workout. Just do a few of those stretches side to side. Lengthening out through the waistline. You should have really felt that in the obliques. All those different positions we were in, all the different angles. Definitely worked the side of the body all the way up, even your arms. So bonus arm work, bonus ab work. So it's really a total body workout. Now swing your legs to the other side, and a few more of those. I can really feel this in my glutes as I stretch over this way. I can feel it in the bottom glutes there, stretching. Feels great. Just 4, 3, 2, 1. Now swing your leg around and just hug your knee into your chest. So you're stretching out through your glutes. Sit up really nice and tall, hugging it in tightly. Releasing through those poor tight glutes. And then just crossing your legs the other way. And again, hugging it into your chest. Doing these targeted workouts really helps build definition and length in your muscles. But obviously you still need to do the cardio to burn the fat and eat well. But they do help, and they do change the shape of your legs, the way your whole back of leg looks, because it targets all the defining smaller muscle groups rather than just the big muscle groups which traditional weight training targets. So it's a really good idea to incorporate bar training in with your heavy weights work, especially for the legs, so that you don't get bulky. Okay, now we're going to come down and bring one leg in front, turn out your foot and actually sink into it. Okay, so I'm just sinking into, it's like a stretching the front of the thigh as well as the glute, as well as a bit of inner thigh. So however low you need to come to feel this stretch. And then just changing sides, bringing the other leg forward, a wide lunging position, and coming down. Stretching your chest towards the floor. And then just stretching back. Even though we didn't work a lot of hamstring, some of those bent leg positions definitely hit the hamstring, so we need to stretch that out a little bit. Flex and point the foot. And just bring the other leg forward, chest to your leg. Don't round through the back, try to keep it nice and flat. Point and flex. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my back of leg mat workout, and I look forward to working out with you again soon.